guys, welcome back to my channel. It is the Brittany way, and for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brittany Randolph and I am a first year medical student at the University of Florida. Actually, I'm a rising second year. So whether you're returning to my channel or you've just discovered my channel, I just want to thank you all for being here. Before you go any further, make sure that you're following me on Instagram. It's the Brittany way, just like I spell it down there. And also, that's my Snapchat, but more importantly, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate you. But I would love if every one of you all would do two things. Follow me on Instagram and give this video a thumbs up. I promise you're gonna love it. And if you need to see it to believe it, then at the end, don't forget that I told you so. So in this video, you will get behind the scenes footage on what it's like at AMEC. I will show you conferences, I'm going to be showing you workshops. You're going to be hearing from other students from other schools, and you'll be even hearing from some of the subscribers that I met, some of my subscribers that I met at AMEC. And so you'll get to see a lot that happened this weekend, and I'm so excited for you all. So make sure you stick to the end because I'll have a little surprise for you guys. So I went to the annual medical education conference hosted by the Student National Medical Association in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was such a good time. I met so many beautiful people. I just can't even believe how awesome of an experience it was. The workshops, the parties, the people, the networking, the banquet, everything, the food, everything was just so amazing. So it wasn't my first time. It was my second time attending AMEC, and it was actually hosted in Atlanta, Georgia, both times. So the first time I went to AMEC, it was in Atlanta, Georgia in 2012, and at the time I was president of the Minority Association of Pre-Medical Students at Barry University, which is where I went to undergrad. And I remember going as a pre-med, and I just could not believe how many beautiful Black successful people who were in the medical field, doctors, residents, medical students, other pre-meds like me, all coming together at this conference. And I was just like blown away. Then at that time, I went down with two of my really good friends, and we were all executive board members of MAPS. And we went to a bunch of workshops, we networked, we just had so much fun. We took a tour of Emory, and that was amazing just to see the school. And so this time now, 4 years later, I'm in medical school, and now I'm co-president of the Student National Medical Association at my school, my chapter. And so it's only right that I went to the conference this year, because it was like, what are the odds? At the time, I didn't know that it's in Atlanta every 4 or 5 years, but I was like, what are the chances that when I was president of MAPS in undergrad, I came to this conference in Atlanta, and now I'm president of SNMA in medical school, and it's in Atlanta? Like, I have to go. It's one of those come full circle moments. So I took a huge risk going to this conference. When I first found out about the conference, I told everyone at my school, and so many people said that they were going. And then we found out that the conference was the week before our cardio exam, and everyone was like, no way, we're not playing with this. Cardio is taught by one of the toughest professors at our school, and so I ended up being the only brave soul to go to the conference. And I knew I was taking a risk, and I was hoping and praying that I would be able to do both. I would be able to go to the conference, get all the information, network, meet people, and pass my exam. I had no idea how I was going to pull it off, but I just knew that I had to. And so just rewind. There was, even before the conference, there was so much going on at school. So like 2 weekends prior to the conference, I went to the University of South Florida to do some recruitment in Tampa with my university, and I sat on a panel and I did a few breakout sessions for them. And so I basically started studying for cardiology the weekend, like our free weekend after our respiratory exam. I started studying for this cardio exam because I knew that in the coming weeks that I was going to have so much on my plate. And so I started studying, studying going down to Tampa, studying coming back, studying in between sessions, just whenever I could just study, just to get a sense of what cardio was going to be about. So then the following week, after I get back from Tampa, and that was successful, and I met so many nice people there, I came back, and it was second look. So, well, it was Diversity Week first. So, the Office of Diversity and Health Equity here hosted our very first Diversity Week. So there were so many events going on throughout the week, so many talks that I wanted to go see, that I did go see. So many things going on. And then we had Second Look, and which is when students who have been accepted, they come back and they see the school for a second time, and we host a lot of events, a lot of panels, just for them to get a good sense, for them and their families to get a good sense of, what it's all about. So you probably have seen that in another video, just a little glimpse into Second Look. And then we also have the Accepted Student Weekend, which are for underrepresented and minority students who have been accepted to the university, and we have like extra events. So they get to go to all the Second Look events, and then they get to go to all the extra events that we host specifically for them. And so all of this was going on. Diversity Week, Second Look, and Accepted Student Weekend was all going on around the same time. And because I'm co-president of the organization, and because I just like to be involved in everything, I was just like bouncing all over the place. So all of that, and I knew that I had the conference the following week, so I was just really grinding. And at one point, I almost fainted. It was like I was just going, and didn't stop. But I knew I wanted to go to the conference, so I had to find a way to make it work. The conference was from the 12th through the 16th of April, and I got down there on Thursday and I stayed to Sunday. My cardio exam was Monday. So my cardio exam was that Monday. So I had to be very strategic with what I chose to go to. So like, I knew that I couldn't go to every single event because I still had to study. And so I like picked and choose which events that I was gonna go to. So I would like go to a session and then I would go study. They had a 24-hour study room at the conference for other students who had tests and who needed to study, but still wanted to go to the conference. So there was that there. So I was like in and out, or I would go up to my hotel room, and because my hotel was in the same hotel as the conference, so I would go up to my room and study, or I would just like find somewhere to study in between like sessions. And it was like really crazy. There was so much going on, I had the opportunity to meet so much people, but like in the back of my head, I'm like, I know I have this cardio exam. I don't want to not pass this exam, right? I knew that I took a risk coming to this conference, and I wanted to prove to myself, first and foremost, that I would be able to do both. Like I would be able to go to this conference and balance everything that I had to do the weeks prior, and pass my exam, not one or the other. And I didn't want it to look like I made an irresponsible decision by going to the conference right before this cardiology exam. So I knew that I had my work cut out for me, and that it was gonna take a lot of sacrifice. And so I go to the conference, I'm like, Thursday I go to workshops, and then I studied Thursday night, because they had parties Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. And I decided not to go out Thursday night, so I studied. And then Friday, I go to some workshops, I go to some events, go to the banquet, and then I do some studying. And then I end up going out Friday night, which was so much fun. And I'm so glad that I went out. Then Saturday comes, and I'm like, you know what? I really need to study. I'm not even gonna look at the schedule of events, because I knew that if I looked at that schedule, it was a wrap. Like I was gonna go to some of the events. I knew I was gonna go. So I told myself, Brittny, don't even look. Don't even tempt yourself. So I decided not to look at the schedule. And Saturday, the plan was to just study. But that didn't quite work out because my school wanted me to come meet some of the pre-meds at the pre-med fair. So I tabled for them, and I'm so glad that I did, because I met some amazing students, and it ended up working out. And I got to have some like really great conversations and talk about my school, because everyone knows that I love talking about my school because I think it is the best school out there. Sorry guys if you go to different schools, but I'm biased. I ended up tabling, so that took away some of my study time. And then I ended up going to dinner with my advisors, who also came from UF, down to host the table and to recruit for a residency program and for like medical school. And so we all ended up, they invited me out to dinner, and of course I said yes, because duh. And so but again, that was also taking away from some of my study time, and I was like really worried, like, oh my gosh, I need to study, but I want to enjoy this meal, and I want to socialize and network. And so I ended up meeting everyone, and we had dinner with a few of the alumni from UF that were in Atlanta as well. So that was like a great opportunity to like network and talk to them and about their experiences at UF, and like their doctors now, and how that's been in residency and all that good stuff. So we talked about that, and then I ended up leaving dinner a little early to go back and study. And I studied all Saturday night while everybody else. So listen, everybody else is coming back from the gala or the ball, and they're in their gowns, and I know that there's a party Saturday night, and I'm just like, here I am, I'm studying. I know this kind of stinks. I want to go out. I want to have fun. I should have went to the gala, but you know, I had to do what I had to do. And so I didn't choose to study in my room because I felt like in my room I wouldn't have been as productive. So I made sure that I was like around energy and people. And so I sat in the lobby and I studied all night until about, I'd say like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I went up to my room because I had my flight back to Gainesville that morning, because it was technically 1 o'clock in the morning. So the next morning, so I go to sleep, I get up, and I head out early in the morning to get back to Gainesville. And once I get to Gainesville, I just studied all day. Like I was in the library all day. I wasn't playing any games because I'm like, there's no way I'm about to fail this exam. I have to pass. And oh, I didn't even mention, like my advisors, they both advised me not to go to this conference. They're like, cardio is serious. Like a lot of people in the past haven't done well. You don't want to regret this decision. We would advise that you don't go. And I'm a little hard-headed and I really want to go to the conference. So I just was like, this is something that I can do. Like, not that I don't value their advice and their wisdom. I just knew that I was willing to make the sacrifices to be able to do it all. And so I was just hoping, what my thought process was like, if I don't go to this conference, I lose. If I don't go to this conference and I don't pass my exam, I lose and I lose. But if I do go to this conference, I win. And if I do go to this conference and I don't pass my exam, I win and I lose. But if I do go to this conference and I do pass the exam, then it's a win-win. So I'm not saying that's the best strategy, guys. It's a huge risk. But if you know that you can do it and you believe in yourself and you're willing to put in that work, then you can do it. So I ended up getting back to school, studying, and my best friend actually came into town. And so she spent the night with me, which was like really good to have her. But of course, I haven't seen her in so long, so we're just like up chatting, and I'm like, I should be studying, but I miss my best friend so much. So we're talking, and then I get up the next morning, I go to take my exam, and I was just praying, like, God, please, I want this to be a success story. I can't fail. Like, I can't fail. You see, God, you saw how hard I was working. I put in the work. You know, I was studying on my free weekend. Like, who does that? You know, I've been doing stuff for my school, and, you know, I've been reaching people, and I've been talking to people who watch my channel, and I've been like trying to give back, and I've been sitting on this panel and that panel and blah, 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 like, just all of this stuff to just be of service and to inspire and motivate and educate other people, God. And, you know, I've been putting in the work for with cardio. God, I need you to come through. And I prayed and I prayed. I sat in an exam and I prayed and I prayed. Like, I would do like 20 questions. I would sit back. God, please, just please. Like, I know you hear me. I just need you to just come through. Like, I thought, like, you got me. Okay. So that's like how it was. And so I remember being so nervous, like right before I was going to submit my exam. And I had like 6 minutes left. And I was like, I should use every single minute. But I was just like shaking and I was like really nervous. I submit my exam and I saw my score and I just started crying. I couldn't even help myself. I just was like, God, you came through. Like, I put the work in, but you carried me through, because there's no way with everything that I had going on. I thought I was going to pass. Well, I was hoping I was going to pass, because sometimes you just never know. And I feel like with these exams, you can never be too sure. But when I tell you that that was like one of the highest scores that I've ever earned on an exam, let alone this professor's exam, I just bust out in tears. And I'm sure people were like, oh my God, she failed. But I was just like, I didn't even care. For me, that was the single most proudest moment of my academic career. And I just was like, I did it. It was a win-win. I was able to do all of this stuff. I made the sacrifices and I was able to pass my exam, more than pass my exam. So I share all of that to say, it's like, yes, this is a lot. Whatever stage you are in life, if you're not in the medical field, you're not. If you're in school, you're not. Like, you are capable of having it all. You are capable. But in order to have it all, you have to make some sacrifice. You know, it took a lot of planning. It took being organized. It took prioritizing, you know, the things that I had to get done. It took, you know, missing those parties, you know, going a little bit crazy, going back and forth from workshops to studying, or studying my free weekend before we even started cardio. You know, I had to make those sacrifices. But in the end, it's all good if it serves its purpose. So I just want to encourage you all that it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but you have to do what everyone else won't do, what most people won't do, and it'll serve you. And I'm just like, I'm absolutely confident if you just remember those 3 things. Plan, have a plan, be organized, stay organized, know what you have to do, have it all sorted out, prioritize, like what's important to you. If you do those 3 things and like make sacrifices, you do those 4 things, like you will be golden. And I'm just glad that I can come to you all today, having said, like, I went to this conference, I took the risk, I met a lot of amazing people, I networked, I gained so much knowledge. I went there by myself, which was something that I'm not used to doing. And I put myself out there, and it just taught me so much. I learned so much just from this experience. And then I came back and I slayed my exam. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm just like really proud of myself, guys. And that's the other thing, like, you have to be your #1 fan, like your biggest supporter, because no one knows how hard I worked more than I do, and I grinded for this. So I just wanted to share that with you all, and I'm just so glad that I went, and I hope that you all enjoyed this video or are about to enjoy this video. And thank you all so much for just, everyone who came up to me. Like, I was so blown away. I'm just like, who am I? I am just like a regular, degular, schmegular person, you know. I'm a regular, just girl, woman. And the amount of love that you all showed me at the conference, just coming up to me like, hey, I subscribed to your channel, I love your videos, thank you so much. Like, all of that just blew me away. Like, some of you all are in this video. If you are, make sure you comment below so I can see you and I can like shout you out down in the description box, whatever. So I hope that for everyone who watched this, you took something from it. And yeah, there's the annual medical education conference every year, and I'm telling you, don't want to miss it. I think next year in 2018, it's going to be in San Francisco, California, somewhere in California. But you can go on snma.org and you can look it up and see what else is popping, you know. And I hope to see you all there next year if I can make it, because I'll probably be studying for STEP. But yeah, I love you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's not too long. Thank you so much. And if you have not already, I'm gonna say it again, make sure please that you like this video, you comment below, you subscribe, and make sure you're following me on Instagram, because I put up a lot there, and I do like daily vlogs on my Instagram feed that you're not gonna get here. I love you. I know I've said that like a million times already, but I'm out. Bye guys.